Hello. Hello, friends and beautiful people. Hi, hi, hi. Let me see if I can find myself live and if anybody's going to join. Hello. Hi, 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 friends and beautiful people. It is Kathryn Mussell from KathrynMussell.com. Elevated Consciousness Coach, 5D Visionary. Hello. I'm going to have to go back in. Facebook is slow today. Dun, dun, dun. Hi, Kathryn. There I am. Okay. Cool. So, welcome to the Lionsgate portal. I'm going to talk about what that is for those of you who don't know exactly what it is. I'm going to talk about that for a second. I have a really exciting announcement to share with you guys that I'm super, super stoked on. Hi, Michelle. And I have a really special offer to share with you guys as well that is super high value and at a very, very awesome price. Yes, the Lionsgate is upon us. So the Lionsgate portal, which is a cosmic alignment between the Sirius star constellation, it's a binary star system, of Sirius in cosmic alignment with the sun in Leo. It also aligns with the pyramids in Egypt, at Giza. So this creates a trinity of alignments, and this year is especially auspicious because it is aligning with the new moon on the 8th. So this is a really, really super solar activation that aligns the human heart as well with the soul. Not that those aren't ever aligned, but it brings in more illumination to that connection between our human and our soul and the dance, the choreography that is. And it really brings in a greater range of our awareness in the quantum or cosmic sense. It opens us up to spiritual ideas that maybe we didn't know before. And we don't know what we don't know, right? But this is illuminating things that are part of our DNA and cellular memory. Like, we already know much of how the cosmos operates. It's coded. We are infinite beings, and in our DNA, we're coded for all of these cellular memories that let us know exactly who we are. And to the degree that we have a spiritual awakening or we rise in vibration and our cosmic consciousness becomes, has a greater range of awareness, then these things are illuminated in our own field. Everything is within us. Everything is within us. That includes our cosmic destiny, that includes our cosmic history, our divinity. It's all within. And to the degree what we keep raising in vibration, which is, hey, what Ascension is all about, and hey, you're in this group, so you must be savvy to that on some level. The more we rise in awareness, the more we include more in our worldview, our perspective, the way we see the universe, the way we see ourselves. We're only going to know more and more and more about ourselves. And we are in a great period of disclosure. We have so many opportunities to really see that maybe what we've been told about our history isn't completely accurate. And our connection to star systems, galaxies, nebula, it's not just random. We are of the stars. We are literally made of stardust. And part of the disclosure of knowing more about ourselves in a quantum cosmic sense is about these levels of disclosure coming up more and more and more. It's like climbing the ladder of our ascension awareness and opening up stations of awareness that we're ready for. Because quite frankly, we've done the work. We've cleared some shadow. And this brings us into what this specific Lionsgate portal of 2021 is bringing forth. And in the sense that, yes, this is a gateway that is extra ripe right now and ready for a spiritual leveling up. But there's a catch. There's a catch. This cosmic alignment is bringing in a lot of really, really juicy opportunities for manifesting a new destiny, not only for ourselves, but who we are as the collective, and driving this planetary timeline forward into a new favorable timeline. The New Earth timeline's already here. We just haven't fully anchored it yet. This always starts on an individual level. The more individuals who are anchoring into and really leaning into our own awareness, willing to let go of certain misconceptions, misperceptions about who we think we are, this always makes us vulnerable, doesn't it? When we're willing to see like where we've actually held ourselves back in our own thinking, the way we anchor into certain belief systems, maybe they weren't ours and our own creation, but we may have adopted and inherited them. Hi, Tammy. And the more we're willing to let go of these preconceived notions about who we think we are, which is largely a false representation, because a lot of us have a mirrored projection of self that we can see in our worldview, because everything is within and moves without. If we have a worldview that is not so delightful, that's always going to start here. And we're starting to unravel this falsehood of who we think we are. And the more we do that, the more vulnerable we feel, right? And this is the exchange that we're being invited to partake in right now. That if we want to feel this mighty cosmic charge, which is what this Lionsgate portal really is, and a massive activation, not just for this planet, but for our sun, for the moon, which could use an activation because it suffers from a lunar matrix that is not so wholesome. I have a whole video about that if you want to know about the lunar matrix. But we are experiencing, yes, a cosmic activation, but on a very individuated level and on a personal level. We are having our emotional world kind of turned upside down a little bit. July was a perfect testament to that. Anyone who felt that? Hi, Nicole. Give me a heart. July was funky. Let's just call it what it is. July was funky. But this was doing something very profound for us. And unless we get uncomfortable with shit, we're not likely to move, right? We're not likely to change. We're not likely to really look at things and go through a period of deep self-discovery and say, hey, that's actually not true. I don't actually believe that. That isn't actually me. That isn't really how I see the world, if I'm honest with myself. And July was really good at kind of being the catalyst for helping us move into this place of vulnerability. And it is really when, here's the catch, folks. It is really when we shed all of these layers, all these preconceived notions, all these veils of forgetting. If you watched my video the other day, I talked about that. It's really when we shed all of this stuff and lay ourselves bare in this kind of vulnerability that we finally have something that's so delicious and so irreplaceable and so honest and so pure. You want to know what that is? Any guesses? Curiosity. Curiosity. Well, if I'm not all this, what am I? Who am I? What if all of this was meant to be stripped away so that I could stop asking maybe that question and start saying, what if I get to decide who I am? What if I get to decide what I am, what I do, how I see the world, how I define my role as a human at this time in this very auspicious planetary timeline? What if I was always meant to be the one who decides who I am, what I do, how I live, what kind of abundance I reap for myself, what kind of abundance that I then give back into the world? What if I decide? And this is the exchange right now that we're being invited to look at with this Lionsgate portal. It is in that precious and pure and honest, I mean, brutally honest moment of pure vulnerability, then and only then do we get this glimpse of all that we are not, and how it's just been layers and layers of veils of forgetting, taking us further away from knowing who we are as a soul-led vantage point. It's only then do we see everything that's possible in front of us, and we anchor into this feeling of curiosity. What's next? Now, I'm not saying that that's not scary. I'm not saying that it is not off-putting to be in that level of rawness and vulnerability. But you have an opportunity in those moments to decide the foundation of who you want to be. What is the baseline of who you want to be, what you want to do going forward? And then you get to build all that back up again. Everything you've built up from a foundation of, and again, that video that I made the other day, your original cause, which was your original fall from grace. When you realized through some core event, something that happened in your life when you were a tiny human, you realized the world was not a safe place, or you made that assumption based on something that happened that you hadn't experienced before, that brought you some level of pain, that brought you a level of, this is not what I thought it was going to be. This whole life thing is going to be hard. And you made that decision to live from that foundation, that baseline of being, and then build up based on that frequency of you, of being afraid, of being in fear, of being in lack, based on an erroneous assumption that the world is not a safe place. So you built that version of you, you brainwashed yourself to be that version of you, and let's take full responsibility. Yes, there may have been events that happened outside of you, trigger events, external events, scenarios, situations that allowed you to make certain self-disenfranchising assumptions. But that's on you, sweethearts. You got to take full responsibility and accountability for that now. This is also what is being, highly illuminated in this Lionsgate portal. It's time to really clear those last layers of shadow. Because I know many of you in here, you're asking for more. You're asking to live in a place of overflow. You're asking for more than enough. Because we've been skating along the fine edge of just scraping by. Most of us for our whole lives. Not everyone, but a lot of us. That's not where we're at now. And in order to really step into that place of overflow and more, we have to look at, okay, where is this idea coming from that I am this person that lives at a level of lesser than, that lives at a level of just enough? Where did I develop that? What was the original cause? How did that idea get there? When did I make that decision? When did I learn to start betraying myself? And how have I kept that up ever since? This Lionsgate portal, I'm going to be brutally honest with you here. If you are not in self-examination mode and you're willing and ready, and maybe even like me, I get excited about doing shadow work. I'm weird that way. I'm a geek. I'm a natural born detective. I love to get to the core issues. I love to do this for my clients, but I love to do it for myself too. I like to dig deep. I'm not afraid to look at the shadow anymore because I know once I get rid of that, what's on the other side is liberation. What's on the other side is only more abundance. What's on the other side is my next up level. What's on the other side is being able to serve my community in a greater degree. So I'm a weirdo. I get excited about looking at my shadow. I get excited about finding out, that's where I've been limiting myself. That's where I've been swindling myself out of my prosperity. That's where I developed that decision, or I made that decision, or I created that assumption in my life that the world wasn't a safe place. And this is what I've built on ever since to confound myself and confuse myself even more, and to take myself further away from who I am as a soul-led being. Nicole likes to do shadow work too. I know some of you watching like to do shadow work, because some of you have been in a few classes with me and you've been fearless about that. That fearlessness is also lending itself to that curiosity. Well, if I get rid of this shadow, who am I beyond it? Who can I be? Who am I now allowing myself to be? What am I now allowing myself to receive because this hindrance is no longer there? And when you do deep shadow work, the way you can sit with the fear is to understand that this is just the contrast to the excitement I'm going to feel when I'm through this, when I'm on the other side of it. And that's so exciting. That's so exciting. And when you work with me, I really drill this into you. That's like, is shit falling apart? Is shit breaking down all around you? Awesome. Get excited. Because that means something really juicy is about to break through on the other side of it. That's how I like to do shadow work. I get excited about it. I try to get my clients excited about it. But we are moving into this place of, once we get on the other side of our shadow, we're willing to go through this, yes, deeper period of self-discovery. We got a lot of layers to peel away. And I know a lot of you are saying like, oh my God, Kathryn, I have been doing nothing but shadow work and I'm sick of it. Here's the thing. We are very complex and we are very layered human beings. We are creative, and sometimes we're really creative in the ways that we like to make things a lot harder for ourselves than they actually need to be. And so we've created a lot of layers of thought forms, self-diminishing beliefs, self-discounting ways of being. We've layered all of that. We are like an onion. And so if you want to keep up leveling, then you better believe there's going to be another layer, the exchange of that vulnerability. In order to have that next layer be fully embodied by you, you got to be willing to understand that this is the exchange. What am I willing to let go of in order to anchor in this higher level of being? It doesn't stop. But you can get excited about it because you know there's something always really enriching and wholesome and nurturing and abundant on the other side of that. On the other side of the pain, the trauma, that deep excavation of the catacombs of your unconscious. And when you get on the other side of it, there's more wealth, there's more passion, there's more confidence, there's more self-esteem, there's more willpower, there's a greater level of self-expression. Because think about it this way, if you're stripping away and you're actively involved in this process of stripping away the shadow and all that which you are not, all that which has built up this false self or false projection of you, if you're stripping all that away, of course you are open to greater self-expression. Now you get to be who you really are and access the destiny that was always meant for you. And because this is such a fiery portal, what it really does is it lights a match under you in your whole self-expression, you in your wholeness, you as a soul-led being, you as an infinite being masquerading as a human. That infinite part of you really gets a match lit under that. And it's like, when you do this shadow work and clear away all that you're not, you're willing to be vulnerable. It is like rocket fuel for the success of whatever you're asking for, whatever you're asking to be, do, or have. But you have to be willing to understand that, what are you willing to give up? What thoughts about who you are, what beliefs about who you are that are all erroneous, by the way, and all got there from some event where you made decisions that weren't actually true. And then you developed assumptions and beliefs based on that for the rest of your life. What are you willing to give up in that arena in order to really ignite in a quantum level? And when we are willing to fully let this go, these false levels of self, these false layers of self, the universe notices. The universe compassionately witnesses you. And the clear broadcast that you are sending to the universe, and especially all of the energies present in this portal. The clear, unfuzzy, static-free broadcast that you are then transmitting to the universe and to the energies in this Lionsgate portal is, let's go. Let's go. You saw my fearlessness. You saw my willingness to be raw and vulnerable, because I know that this is the key code to me stepping into my next level of expression. That this beautiful self-expression of me that is aligned with my quantum self is fully ready to emerge like a butterfly emerging from a cocoon. I'm done being in the chrysalis phase. Let's go. And guess what lines up? Synchronicity, serendipity, beautifully soul-aligned opportunities, people, and what it looks like is like shit that just comes out of nowhere. And in your veiled level of self, where you were living at that false projection of self before, you were literally veiled to seeing possibilities, probabilities, potentials, because you weren't in the vibration to be able to see those things. But when you lose this shadow, you're willing to be vulnerable, you're ready to be laid bare, which, yes, it's a scary place to be. But that's why you have to always go into, well, what's on the other side of this? If I am a raw, bare template, literally a blank canvas, and I align myself with the thinking and the believing and the knowing of, well, I only get to fully self-express myself now and who I'm meant to be, who I was always meant to be. Let's fill up this blank canvas with all kinds of beautiful colors and flowers and rainbows and unicorns, right? Let's fill it up with good stuff now. Because there's no darkness on that canvas. It's just a beautiful, white, illuminated canvas, ready to be filled up with everything that aligns with that vibration. That's a good place to be. So if you're still working through painful shadow, I invite you to shift your mindset around, this is as bad as it gets. Because I'm never going to let it get this bad again. In this shadow, I see where I've done this to myself, by the way, and that's a painful revelation to know that we are the agents of our own destruction, but we're also the agents of our own revelation. We are the agents of our own construction. We get to construct what is next. There isn't a more exciting, ebullient, ecstatic place to be than in that knowing of, I'm a blank canvas. I get to put everything, all the pieces back together differently now. Or maybe I'm not taking any pieces with me on this next ride. And that's cool too. Hey, Samantha. Hey, Eleanor. This is an exciting place to be. And this portal is the assist. This portal is the boost. This portal has got you by the shoulders and is like, here you go. You know what it feels like? I was a flower girl at my uncle's wedding when I was a little kid. I think I was 9 years old. And I was terrified because I was the first one out. And I was frozen. I had my cute little peach polyester frou-frou pretty princess bullshit dress on. I hated it. I'm a tomboy. I always have been. I hated getting dressed up like that. But there were all these people in the church, and it was a big church. And my uncle had me by the shoulder. I'm sorry, it was my aunt who had me by the shoulders, and she's like, there you go. And it was terrifying. But once I got out there, and I'm throwing the flowers out, and I felt like, actually, this isn't so bad. This is great. And I'm the pretty princess, and people are taking pictures of me, and I didn't get a lot of attention when I was a little kid, so I was just like, this is kind of cool. Think of this Lionsgate portal. It has you by the shoulders lovingly. And it's saying, okay, all right. It's whispering in your ear. It's time to go. It's time to go. Can you feel that? Can you get the Buddha bumps on your arms? And is the hair raising on the back of your neck? That means because it echoes within your own truth. Yeah? Can you feel that? Is that making sense? if you could encapsulate this Lionsgate portal and the potentials available in that silly little anecdote that I shared with you, that's kind of what it is. So I have something that I want to share with you that is super exciting, and I can't wait to deliver this to you guys, and it's going to be right here in this group. This Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, the 6th, 7th, and 8th, we're going to culminate on the Lionsgate portal on Sunday the 8th. I'm going to do 3 days of galactic activations with you guys, and I'm going to talk to you about the Stargate that is Sirius. I'm going to talk to you about the Sirians as the gatekeepers of 6D. They are, each dimensional realm has keepers. Sirians are the keepers of 6D. We are going to talk about sacred geometry and maybe things that you did not know about sacred geometry. A lot of what I'm going to be sharing with you is stuff that is from the Quantum Quintessence Society, which is a program that's pretty dynamic and unique and cool because it goes deep into talking about the keepers, the divine alchemy, the quantum alchemy, the math of 4, 5, 6, and 7D. There isn't another program out there that goes into depth in these dimensional realms like I do. It includes quantum quintessence activations. And so what I'm sharing with you about 6D is what I shared in this program. We went on the 16-week deep dive into these 4-dimensional realms of 4, 5, 6, and 7D starting back in March of this year. There isn't anything like this out there that explores dimensions in this level. And you get to have quantum activations within that program portal as well. And so these 3 days, I'm going to be sharing really awesome quantum activations with you. We're going to have a galactic quantum leap with each other right here in the group. It's totally free. It's going to be really, really exciting. For those of you who want to know more about Sirius, you want to know more about the Sirians and their role in helping humanity at this time. If you want to know more about 6D, what it does, how it works, what the alchemy of that is all about, how the keepers, Sirians in 6D, work with us on a quantum level, how they influence humanity, then this is going to be a really, really awesome 3 days together. Totally free. It'll be right in here. So it'll be the 6th, 7th, and 8th. And we're going to be doing it at 11:30 a.m. Pacific time on those days. So it'll be 2:30 Eastern time. And as part of this galactic activation, I'm offering you a bundle on the Quantum Quintessence program, which I just explained to you, but I'm going to give you the link so you can read more about it. But it's also going to include my Collapsing Timelines micro course. It's going to include my ebook, which is Notes on Ascension. It's going to include the Consciousness Mechanics of Ascension, which is another really awesome program, very unique, which also has a companion ebook with it. So all told, this is, the program of Quantum Quintessence is $678. And the Collapsing Timelines micro course is $89. The Consciousness Mechanics of Ascension course is $111. My ebook is $10. So all of this, you're going to be saving over $300 because I'm offering this all for $555. This is only going to be available as a bundle, the Galactic Activation Bundle for Lionsgate, through the 12th of this month. So I will put the link in here so you can grab that and you can read more about these courses. I'm going to put the links down here too. This is, for those of you who want enough content, high value content, by the way, to binge on that'll keep you busy through the end of this year, and you want to really take a quantum leap in your awareness of how dimensional realms work, how to manage ascension symptoms better, how to understand how your own quantum leap works, your unique relationship with the universe. This is the package in the bundle for you. You'll be busy through the end of 2021, I promise you. And there are, for Quantum Quintessence, there is a Facebook community that you can get in as well. So you have a place to get support, you have a place to interact, you have a place to ask questions. These are all self-study. None of these are offered live. It's all self-study, and you have lifetime access to all of them. So this is an incredibly high value bundle at an amazing discount. You're going to save over $300 on the whole thing. high value. Again, the information you're going to be privy to in this, you're not going to find it anywhere else. Especially looking at 4D, it's a highly misunderstood dimensional realm. I've talked about it many times in here. I have a lot of YouTube videos about it. It's so important for us because we have this dance right now, this blended earth reality that includes 3, 4, and 5D. We have to understand that 4D is really the dimensional realm of the hero's journey. We have to move through 4D in order to get to the salvation of unity consciousness in 5D. Is the Quantum Quintessence Society an annual membership? Nope. You join once, you're in for life. I'm going to be teaching another round that will explore 8, 9, and 10D, but that probably won't be until like next year, because this year is going by so fast. But when you join the Quantum Quintessence, even if you join with this bundle, you're going to get the member price on 8, 9, and 10D. And in fact, you won't be able to get into the 8, 9, and 10D version of Quantum Quintessence without taking this first level first. So this is a really exciting time, you guys, and I want you to get super excited. I want you to mark your calendars. I want to see your beautiful names up there on the screen when you join me this Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. I wanted to do it on the weekend because I know a lot of you work during the week. And set time aside, set an hour aside plus for these activations and discussions about 6D and about the Syrians. A lot of us really don't understand Sirius or the Syrians, and we're going to shine a lot of light on that. This whole portal is about shining the light. It's going to be 11:30 a.m. Pacific time. Mark your calendars right now. Even if you don't take advantage of the Galactic Activation Bundle, I don't know why you wouldn't, because it's absolutely amazing and you're not going to get this information anywhere else. But this is going to be 3 great days of learning, 3 great days of quantum activations, 3 great days of understanding better your galactic self. It's going to be something that is high value for you to take advantage of for absolutely free. So I don't know how I could sweeten that pot even more. So I hope to see you there. Thank you so much for your time today and watching. I showered for you and everything, so this was a really special event for me to share with you. I want to wish you all so much love and peace. See you on Friday.